So with the time I have left, allow me to share our vision, the values that guide us, and the future we're working toward. Our basic principles for peace and progress here in this region, including Laos and across the Asia-Pacific. First, we believe that all nations and peoples deserve to live in security and peace. We believe that the sovereignty and territorial integrity of every nation must be upheld. And we believe that every nation matters, no matter their size. We believe that bigger nations should not dictate to smaller nations, and that all nations should play by the same rules. America's treaty allies must know our commitment to your defense is a solemn obligation that will never waver. And across the region, including in the East and South China Seas, the United States will continue to fly and sail and operate wherever international law allows, and support the right of all countries to do the same. We will stand with our allies and partners in upholding fundamental interests, among them freedom of navigation and overflight, lawful commerce that's not impeded, and peaceful resolution of disputes. That's the security that we seek. We also believe that just as nations have rights, nations also have responsibilities, including the responsibility to work together to address problems no nation can solve alone. So many of today's threats transcend borders, and every country has a role to play. We will have to cooperate better together to stop terrorist attacks and to prevent the spread of the world's most dangerous weapons. We will have to work together to avoid the worst effects of climate change. We have to work together to stop the horror of human trafficking and end the outrage of modern-day slavery. These are areas where we seek deeper cooperation. We believe in prosperity that is shared and that reduces poverty and inequality by lifting up the many and not just a few wealthy people at the top. Rather than simply extracting another country's natural resources, we believe development has to invest in people, in their education, and in their skills. We believe that trade should be free and truly fair, and that workers and the environment should be protected. We believe that governments should not conduct or knowingly support cyber-enabled theft of intellectual property for commercial gain. And we believe that there needs to be good governance, because people should not have to pay a bribe to start a business or sell their goods. And that's the kind of development and the kind of trade that we seek. That's why the Trans-Pacific Partnership is so important, not only because TPP countries, including the United States, will be able to sell more goods to each other, but it also has important strategic benefits. TPP is a core pillar of America's rebalance to the Asia-Pacific, and the trade and the growth it supports will reinforce America's security alliances and regional partnerships. It will build greater integration and trust across this region. And I have said before, and I will say again, failure to move ahead with TPP would not just have economic consequences, but would call into question America's leadership in this vital region. So as difficult as the politics are back home, I will continue to push hard on the U.S. Congress to approve TPP before I leave office, because I think it is important for this entire region and it is important for the United States. I believe that nations are stronger and more successful when they uphold human rights. We speak out for these rights not because we think our own country is perfect, no nation is, but not because we think every country should do as we do, because each nation has to follow its own path. But we will speak up on behalf of human rights because we believe they are the birthright of every human being. And we know that democracy can flourish in Asia because we've seen it thrive, from Japan and South Korea to Taiwan. Across this region, we see citizens reaching to shape their own futures. And freedom of speech and assembly and the right to organize peacefully in civil society without harassment or fear of arrest or disappearing, we think makes a country stronger. A free press that can expose abuse and injustice makes a country stronger. And access to information and an open internet where people can learn and share ideas makes a country stronger. An independent judiciary that upholds the rule of law, and free and fair elections so that citizens can choose their own leaders. These are all the rights that we seek for all people. We believe that societies are more stable and just when they recognize the inherent dignity of every human being. The dignity of being able to live and pray as you choose so that Muslims know they are a part of Myanmar's future. And Christians and Buddhists have the right to worship freely in China. The dignity of being treated equally under the law so that no matter where you come from or who you love or what you look like, you are respected. And the dignity of a healthy life, because no child should ever die from hunger or a mosquito bite or the poison of dirty water. This is the justice that we seek in the world.